Reporting for the very first time from the film industry in Liberia, Liberia Film Awards has declared their nominees for the 2025 edition. We'll be taking a look at the various categories, the various films, and personnel that are likely to win awards in this year's film awards. Also, moving on from Liberia to Cannes, Hong Kong has made a major splash at the Cannes Film Festival with the intention of placing Hong Kong as a film hub of Asia. Are they going to succeed? We'll be taking a look as to their details and strategy they have in mind for their country. This on this very episode of the Film Mandate. I'm Papa Otu. Stay tuned. Welcome to this very episode of the Film Mandate, and I thank you so much for joining me for this very episode of the Film Mandate. So we'll be delving right into it, and the very first article is from the country of Liberia, and in the Daily Observer, published an article published on this very day. Liberia Film Awards reveals nominees for the 2025 edition. For 2025 edition, and it is indeed exciting looking at the fact that Liberia's film industry was disrupted by the civil war that happened in the 1990s, and I'm excited that this is really happening. You know, to have all the countries in Africa, film industries booming as it should. So we'll be reading this article, which was written by Peter Bayo Bishop, and it actually was published yesterday, May 19th. So the Liberia Film Awards, I read. On Friday, May 16th, at the Sierra Leonean Embassy in Monrovia, the nominees for the fourth annual Journey Home Film Festival and Liberia Film Awards were unveiled, marking a significant moment for three motion pictures: Fantasy, The Good Husband, and The Ten Coat. Following recognition of the contributions from key figures in Liberia's film sector, Lisa White, the program organizer, announced a collaborative film production between Liberia and Sierra Leone. The event was attended by notable guests such as Lucine Callon, Sierra Leone's deputy ambassador to Liberia, Charles Boima Blake, head of the diaspora office at Liberia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, John Bollout, former statesman and board chair of the Liberia Movie Union, and Dr. Clarice Ford Kula, executive director of the Journey Home Film Festival. She revealed the nominees competing for the industry's highest honors, setting the stage for the coming weeks leading to the prestigious Liberia Film Awards ceremony on June 21st. Leading the nominations with 12 was Ansu Selif KKL Mansu Studio with its films The Good Husband and The Ten Coats by Nicholas Poe prominently featured. Despite the passage of time, cinematographer and manager of KKL Mansu Studio, Ansu Selif has enjoyed acclaim through the film The Good Husband. The movie includes elements such as Tama Thomas Thompson's poignant film love story about a struggling husband who prays for divine intervention to transform their life from hardship to prosperity. The film powerfully depicts familial struggles and hopeful perseverance, sharing insight into his storytelling approach and noting the complexities portrayed in Liberian relationships woven throughout the narrative. I make shows and look out for all details, paying attention to things that matter a lot, especially when it comes to sound, picture, and the diction of the actors, says Ansu Sirleaf, director of The Good Husband. And the Ten Coats, directed by Nicholas Poe and starring Samantha Weiser, Emmanuel Koluba, and Richard Henrys III, tells the story of a dedicated Liberian businessman who falls victim to betrayal and murder at the hands of the avaricious lawyer who also schemes against the businessman's daughter. My storylines are unique because I always try to maintain an international standard. Looking at my storylines, good English, good plots, good script writing, and good directing. I'm pushing to get my craft on bigger platforms. Nicholas Poe, director of The Ten Coats, explains the unique structure of the film. Newcomers dominated the acting categories, with the majority being actors receiving their first Liberia Film Award nominations. Among them are Leanne Nolden, Izzy Payne, Dominic Jacobs, Lydia Vonleh, and Aisha Soare. This collaborative festival highlights the strong cultural and cinematic connections between Liberia and its sister nation, Sierra Leone, embracing the theme uniting the African diaspora through cinema and culture. The event is scheduled for June 21st. A list of nominees follows below. So I'll go through the various nominees. Yeah. Yeah. So best picture, we have The Ten Coats, The Good Husband, Fantasy, In the Deep, Chat, and Date. Rounding up the best picture category. Best director, we have Corto Davis, The Good Husband, Guardian Mayon, Fantasy, Prince Sambala, Chat and Date, Nicholas Poe, The Ten Coats, Prince Myers, Ponders, Missing, and Daniel Coleman and Gardia Mayon for Nails. Moving to the best lead actor in a motion picture category, we have Daniel Coleman, Enough for Us, Moses George, Chat and Date, Nicholas Poe, The Ten Coats, Gawalo Amos, Missing, Alpha Charlie, Sweet Revenge, Anthony Fofana, The Good Husband, and then George Dayu Collins for Fantasy. Also, in the Best Lead Actress in a Motion Picture category, we have Abby Riss in The Deep, Lydia Vonleh, Chat and Date, and Pao Kamfayanja, I hope I had it right, The Ten Coat, Ertama Etarma Thompson, The Good Husband, and Mawu Gift Numa, Muddy Faces. The new actor, we have Nicole Curtis Smith, The Good Husband, Ezzy Payne, The Good Husband, and Courage Mayon, Sweet Revenge. For the Best New Actress category, we have Danielle Coleman, Enough for Us, Owen Lynn Denver for Sweet Revenge. We have Masakamara, Fantasy, Leanne Nolden, Fantasy, Sandra Zoe, Fantasy, Wade Bedell, The Good Husband, and Prizata Toe for Muddy Faces. In the Best Supporting Actor category, we have the Alpha Charlie, Fantasy, Dominic Jacobs, Chat and Date, Emmanuel Koluba, The Ten Coats, Tabn Les Dominic, The Ten Coats, and Victor for Missing. Best Supporting Actress, we have Sarafina Jala, Chat and Date, Samantha Poe, The Ten Coats, Regina Carson, The Ten Coats, Wilhelmina Stubblefield, Sweet Revenge, and Tracy Mason, In the Deep. Also, we have the Best Actress in a Series, Abby West, The Nails, Ertama Thompson, Sweet Nothings, Janice Cooper, The Nails, Tracy Mason, The Nails, wrapping up the Best Actress in a Series category. The Best Actor in a Series category, we have Joseph Weir, Sweet Nothings, Daniel Coleman, The Nails, Sekou Selef, Sweet Nothing, Alpha Charlie, The Nails, and Nathan Kolimi, The Nails. Best Series, The Nails, and Sweet Nothings. Best Original Screenplay, The Good Husband, Sweet Revenge, Missing, Fantasy, and Sweet Nothings. Best Documentary, People Are the Currency, Voice of Liberia, and Tides of Change. Best Cinematography, we have Gardia Mayon for Fantasy, Ansu Selif, The Good Husband, Proxy Kojo, Chat and Date, Augustine Osinachi, Eziegu the Ten Coat, and then Bien Charles Zize of Missing. Best editing, we have Prince Sambala Chat and Date. We have Obeys Chukwuenyen Lucky, the Ten Coat, Bien Charles Zize Missing, Ansu Selif, the Good Husband, Emmanuel Red, Sweet Nothings, and then Emmanuel Jayena of Enough Forest, and then Garden Mayon of Fantasy. Moving on to best sound, we have The Good Husband, Fantasy, Missing, and Sweet Nothings. Best original score, we have Chat and Date, The Good Husband, Fantasy, and The Nails. Best costume, we have Sweet Nothings, The Nails, Sweet Revenge. Best visual effects, we have Missing and The Ten Coat. Best production design, we have Missing, The Ten Coat, Sweet Revenge, and The Nails. For best short film, we have Muddy Faces, Enough for Us, Sweet Revenge, and Missing. Best film short in the diaspora, we have Ketcha Ketcha, Sierra Leone, The Village Keeper, Canada, Benita, USA, The Mask, Nigeria, The Cursed Bond, Nigeria Liberia collaboration, and then Godly Escort, Nigeria. In the best director in the diaspora, we have Zakiatu Mariana Bundu and Mohammed Rogers, Ketcha Ketcha, Karen Chapman, the village keeper, Prince Wai, Benita, Abangana Richard the Mask, Nwosu Abagana Richard, Godly Escort, Jide Blaze Oyebile, Cursed Bonds. Best Actress in the Diaspora, Sarah Tara Lee, Kecha Kecha, Olunike Adeliyi, The Village Keeper, Christian Ramos, Benita, Pamela Okoye, The Mask, Ruth Kadiri, Godly Escort, and Kiki Omeli, Cursed Bones. The actor in the diaspora, we have Zechariah Sise, Kecha Kecha, Charma Jita, Benita, Eddie Watson, The Mask, Zabi Michael, Cursed Bones. And then the best shorts in the diaspora, we have Green Hope, Sierra Leone, DL Don Boss SL, Sierra Leone, Mahmoud's Mercedes, Sweden, Layer of Darkness, Tunisia, Kettens, Togo. And then moving on to the last but not the least, we have the best documentary in the diaspora, Beautiful Suffering, Sierra Leone, and then Ikaya, South Africa. Ikaya, South Africa. Yeah, so I'm indeed excited for the Liberian Film Awards. Liberian Film Awards. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact date it's taking place, but I will definitely come up with the exact. I think it may take place in June 21st, 2025, the prestigious Liberia Film Awards. Yeah, so June 21st, 2025. So yes, I'm excited for Liberia for this very film festival and awards that they are bringing up. And yeah, I would definitely be looking out when it finally, have their event, and we'll look out for those who won and all that. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to Liberia for organizing this Liberia Film Awards. Um, I don't know whether it's the first of its kind or not. I wasn't able to find out prior to this, but I will definitely find out more information when it finally takes place on June 21st, 2025. So, yeah, this sums up my first story. And then moving on, we go back to Cannes, of which yesterday I brought a report with regards to Nigeria's first entry into the Cannes Film Festival. But moving on, we come to Hong Kong. And Hong Kong cinema makes splash at Cannes with industry push. An article written by Naman Ramachandran in the Variety article. So let's read a story. Hong Kong's film industry is flexing its muscles at the Cannes Film Festival with a campaign designed to cement the city's position as Asia's premier film hub and IP trading center. Hong Kong Cinema at Cannes 2025, which kicked off May 13th and runs through May 24, has brought a significant contingent of Hong Kong film companies to the cross-set in a coordinated effort backed by multiple government agencies, including the Cultural and Creative Industries Development Agency, the Hong Kong Film Development Council, and the Hong Kong Trade Development Council. The campaign's masterpiece event, Hong Kong Night, drew more than 800 industry professionals to Majestic Beach on May 17th, including the creative team behind Sons of the Neon Night, which landed in midnight screenings slots at this year's festival. Director Juno Mak and stars Louis Koo and Gao Yuanyuan were on hand to celebrate the world premiere of their film alongside international producers, distributors, and film commission representatives. So, building on the success of the HKTDC's annual Film Mart event held in Hong Kong in March, we are thrilled to present Hong Kong Cinema at Cannes 2025, said HKTDC Deputy Executive Director Dr. Patrick Lau. This year's program underscores the strength of our conviction in Hong Kong's vibrant film and creative industries. The Hong Kong Pavilion at Riviera Cannes has become a bustling hub for Asian cinema business, featuring major players like Celestial Pictures, Edco Films, Emperor Motion Pictures, Media Asia Film Distribution, One Cool Pictures, and Universe Films Distribution. Additional companies including All Rights Entertaining Power, Fortune Star Media, Golden Network Asia, and Just Distribution and Mandarin Motion Pictures are also participating in the market. High-profile titles being shopped at the market include two prequels in Edco Films, Cold War franchise, Cold War 1994 and Cold War 1995, plus Emperor Motion Pictures' extended version of Hong Kong's highest grossing 2024 release, The Last Dance. Media Asia Film is representing two installments of its Twilight of the Warriors trilogy, while One Cool Pictures is promoting action feature The Trier of Facts, and Universe Films is shopping comedy Dog Day Evening. The program also featured two forward-looking panel discussions, including A Better Tomorrow, the success of Hong Kong and Asian cinema to the world, which gathered Asian film luminaries, including Eric Lin, General Manager of International Content Development Center at Alibaba Pictures, Judy Ann, Head of International Business of Showbox, Director Juno Mark, and Todd Brown, Head of International Acquisitions at XYZ Films. A second forum, Asian Collaboration, Navigating Opportunities and Overcoming Challenges in a Global Landscape, brought together filmmakers to discuss cross-cultural partnerships and innovative storytelling strategies aimed at global audiences. Yeah, so that is the Hong Kong cinema for you, the Hong Kong cinema for you. And yeah, it is indeed a strategic push, I must say, by Hong Kong. And I think it's very admirable and perhaps something worthy of emulation by other film industries as well. And over the years, I mean, Asia has been in the film industry as long as, I mean, way before most film industries even thought of getting into the business, I mean, or most countries thought of getting into the business of film. And they have, one point in time, dominated the film industry, particularly Hong Kong used to be the third largest film industry in the world, behind the US and Bollywood, that is India. But now looking at what they are doing is to be very strategic in their film industry, particularly towards the world. And why wouldn't any country want to do that? Because it is indeed the right strategy for, I mean, with regards to what they are doing. The world is no more, is in as much as the world contains countries, the barriers, the physical barriers are not limiting what this IP properties can do. Films from Asia is enjoyed by people from in South Africa, in US, in Canada, in even on in Australia, and same is films from America and all over the world are enjoyed in different countries. So it is indeed the right strategy to embark on when you're looking at a global audience and not just your secluded audience within your country. Besides that, because of migration, a lot of people have moved from their own countries to different countries, making it an ideal ambition to ensure that films from whichever country you may find yourself in can go to other countries, so that even if people of foreign countries won't enjoy it, your own people in the diaspora of a sort can enjoy it. I mean, from Africa or from Hong Kong to any other place would enjoy those films from their home country. So for what they are doing, it is indeed good. And it is not just that for a global audience, but also they are looking at a strategic push in collaborating with other countries to ensure that their films travel far and wide. And not just that, but it also brings a form of investment into their own country. So for what they are doing, it is indeed the right way to go about making sure that you become a film hub of a continent. And Asia or Hong Kong, I think, is doing the right thing. And what a better platform or space to have this done than the Cannes Film Festival, of which they are presenting their own number of films in this festival. So it is quite strategic and is the right thing to do, looking at the fact that they are not just coming there as a country, but they are also coming there with the intention of representing Asia as a whole. So as a country, yes, they are looking at making sure Hong Kong in itself becomes the film hub of Asia. But they are not just moving out there as a country alone, but coming together with the whole continent of Asia. And that is indeed admirable because whether we like it or not, Asia happens to be one of the most populous continents in the world. I think it's the most populous continent in the world, and followed by Africa. And sorry, yeah, it's the most populous country in the world, followed by Africa. And looking at how populous they are, it translates into box office receipts. China alone, as a country, is able to help countries boost their box office receipts, particularly the US. So it is indeed a good strategy to ensure that they keep on having a very dominant industry in the world, if not the very best or the most dominant film industry in the world, perhaps among the top three. And I can understand why they are doing that. And I think it's the right way to go for their industry, looking at the fact that the world in itself today, it is quite volatile in several areas and arenas. But what we don't want it to affect is the films we watch, because film, though may have its own agendas by the people who produce them, also is an entertainment medium. Back then, films in the Cold War, in particular, in the World Wars, films were used as propaganda to rile up their people, that is, the nations in which they are produced, to rile up people to support the war machine efforts. But film has gone beyond that now. Film is mostly now for entertainment purposes, even though it may still have some subtle uh, themes of messages to want to send in the world. But the most basic need of people now is to be entertained by films and not the propaganda machines that used to exist. So every country would want to put their best foot out there with the hope of finding not just a global market but also collaborations, because in collaborating with others there are technologies that are exchanged and their ideas are shared, and then more countries become more receptive of others who have collaborated with themselves in order to have access to those markets. So indeed, it is a good strategy they are embarking on, and I'm sure by the end of the Cannes Film Festival itself, they would have secured most of their objectives for the purpose of which they are doing this. So it is indeed an exciting time that we live in, where you realize that countries can't exist in isolation when it comes to the film industry. You could, yes, you can shoot your film alone in your country, do your productions alone, but beyond that, even in terms of market, you would want to be able to exhibit your films in the international market and not just your own country. So most often it will start with your country, and then you look at the continent you find yourself in, and then you expand to a global market where your film, no matter how small it may be in terms of budget, stands a greater chance of making good box office numbers. Well, based on how good the film is as number one, and also how well you are able to market it, how well you're able to market it, and it all starts from making sure that the film is very tasteful for audiences all over, because what may be tasteful for one audience may not really work for another. But the fundamental basis is that it should be a good story, it should be entertaining, and then at the end of the day, it should be good enough to make enough box office wherever it finds itself. So this is indeed a good strategy. I believe even Africa we can learn from. And then I think countries all over the world can take a lesson from this. But for me in particular, I would even say Ghana or even Nigeria or the continent of Africa can look at learning from some of these ideas that Hong Kong is propagating, or is embarking on for their film. So if you look into the article, you have the they are doing a world premiere of their films, but also they are celebrating their international producers, distributors, and film representatives, commissioner representatives. So it is indeed a whole package strategy that they are putting out there to ensure that Hong Kong becomes what the film and IP hub of Asia, the film and IP hub of Asia. And Hong Kong is indeed a big, it's indeed a very big film market, a very big film market, and it is really doing good business with regards to their action films. Everybody likes their action films, and it is indeed something exciting. So yeah, it is something to look forward to, and perhaps in the few years to come, we would want to see how perhaps these initiatives is translating Hong Kong as a film hub of Asia, and the impact of that in the main continent as a whole. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to it, and I celebrate cinema wherever it may find itself or wherever it may be. So I'm excited that Hong Kong is doing something that is worth learning from, and we'll be looking forward to its success in the few years to come. So yeah, this sums up my two stories for this very episode 42. So I'll be bringing to you some more information from Cannes Film Festival. So you can look out for some trailer reactions. The purpose is not necessarily to react to the trailer, but to celebrate a number of films from the continent of Africa. So please be looking out for some of these things, just to highlight the films that have been admitted into the Cannes Film Festival, and the stories that they have in the films for us to celebrate. So yeah, On this note, I would like to bring this very episode to an end. Thank you so much for joining me for this very episode. You can leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll be coming your way once again with another episode of the Film Mandate. I'll see you soon.